So this is a fake pair of AirPods Pro. Now before we actually open this up and I show you what's inside, what I'm trying to do today is help you guys look for certain things in a listing for one of these fake AirPods Pro so you can avoid getting scammed. Now we've all been to Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, looking for a deal on one of our favorite tech products in order to save a little bit of money. But the problem with this is that you can run into a lot of people that are selling fakes or clones and you wouldn't even realize it. Honestly, some of these listings that I've been taking a look at, I wouldn't realize it either. I could easily be fooled myself. So I want to help you find the telltale signs of a fake AirPods Pro listing. So now before we actually talk about all the sellers, what I want to show you is the actual box. So the box comes like this. You'll see these weird tapes on all the branding and the logo parts of the actual package of the AirPods Pro. And this is to get it through customs. So in customs, all these shipments get scanned. And these tapes on the logos are what keep it from getting opened up. Because if they were opened up, well, they would get held at customs and never arrive to the seller. So now when you go online to look for a pair of AirPods Pro, you're going to run into three kinds of sellers. The seller number one is the ultimate scammer. Now this person knows what they're doing. They know exactly what kind of photos to put into their listing and make their listing feel as real as possible so that you don't even get a clue and you're probably not even going to ask them that many questions and you could easily get scammed by one of these guys. Now the second seller is the one that comes off as, oh, I bought these a few months ago, I've been using them, and now I want to sell them, so I lose the money, but you'll save some money by buying it from me. Now this seller is willing to make a little bit less money on the clone AirPods Pro, but he's still going to scam you. So this one may not be as smart as the first one. Now, the third kind of seller that you're going to run into is just going to be the guy that's like, hey, I know these are a clone. I want to sell you a clone. I want to sell these for 50 to 60 bucks and I'll make some money. You'll get a really good deal and these work exactly as the originals. So what do you say? Now, I'm not an advocate for selling fake products, but at least with the third seller, it's like, at least they're telling you the truth. They're telling you that this is a clone product. So they're being upfront about it. So at least you're not going to get screwed over by this guy. In fact, you know exactly what you're getting into with this last one. So I'm going to leave this guy out of the equation. Okay, so I've been doing a little experiment for the last couple of days, just reaching different kinds of sellers in these two categories. So the first lady that I reached out to had a picture of herself, her kid, and her husband. And, honestly, from the profile picture to her listing, everything looks legit. You would think that this is just a mom that's trying to make a little bit of extra money. So now in her pictures, she had the front of the package, and then she also had a picture of the serial number, but it was a little distorted. So I reached out to her. I was like, hey, are these available? And she's like, yeah, they are. I was like, okay, could you send me a clearer picture of the serial number? So this is where tip number one is going to come in for you guys. Anytime you are looking for an iPad, iPhone, any Apple product, go to checkcoverage.apple.com and put in the serial number of the product into the website. And this will tell you whether it has a validated purchase date, whether it still has a warranty on it with AppleCare, or whether, it still has technical phone support. So all of these details you're going to be able to look up on this website. I will put it here for you and down below so that you guys can have that as a reference. So now once she sends me over the picture, it was still blurry and I told her, I was like, this picture is blurry. And she was like, I don't know why it's blurry. So I was like, okay. I enlarged the picture, I put in the serial number into Apple's website, and sure enough, it said that the serial does not match any product. So it said that the serial number was invalid. Now I reached back to her and she was like, oh, I bought these from Costco. Now I have a Costco membership, so in order to cross-reference her statement, I went to Costco.com and looked up the deals on AirPods Pro. Sure enough, they had a deal running that you can buy a pair of AirPods Pro for $200 until the end of January. Now, why would this lady buy 2 pairs of AirPods Pro to only sell them for $10 more each? That makes absolutely no sense. Anyway, I said to her again, I was like, look, this serial number's not real. And she got into things like, oh, they shipped it to me and I don't know, and blah, blah, blah. So I knew at this point that this was a fake listing. So the next thing I said to her, I was like, hey, I actually have a pair of AirPods Pro and I was just doing a Facebook experiment just to kind of see, because there's a lot of fake AirPods Pro being sold here. Right after I sent her this message, she blocked me, she left the conversation, and till today, I have not been able to find her listing again on the marketplace. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm blocked or if she got so scared by this that she totally removed the listing. Okay, now seller number 2. This is the person that's going to have more pictures of the actual AirPods. So since they're giving that vibe and that feeling that, oh, I bought these and now I want to sell them, and this way you're gaining for my loss, and etc., etc. So in this seller's case, what you're going to have is a lot of pictures of the product itself. Now, you'll notice one thing. If they know what they're doing, they'll have pictures of the front of the product, but never the back of the product. If you're wondering why, here's the reason. Now, the back hinge of the AirPods Pro, for some reason on all clone models, it has a weird sparkle to it, instead of like a matte, solid kind of finish that you get on the real AirPods Pro. So if a seller knows what they're doing, they won't have a picture of that backside. Now, I actually ran into some listings where they even had the picture of the back. That one's easy. You just kind of zoom in and you'll realize that it has a sparkle to it. And if it has a sparkle to it, then let that listing go. It's not real. You'll know right away. Now, the other thing that you'll notice in their pictures is misalignment. And it's very slight. You kind of have to zoom into the area where the AirPods close and they have that little dip in the front. In that area, you're going to notice that there's a misalignment in the case of the AirPods. A fake pair of AirPods Pro will always have alignment issues. And, if they don't, then that back for 99.9% of the time is going to give it away. So now in this scenario, we have learned that look for deformalities in the actual AirPods. And for the backside, make sure that it doesn't have a sparkle. And, so in this guy's listing, what he did was he had a picture of the front, and then he had a picture of the serial number of the box. Sure enough, again, I checked up the serial number and it came back as invalid. So I reached out to him. I was like, hey, just for fun. I was like, hey, could you send me a picture of the back of the AirPods Pro? He said, yeah, sure, I'll send it to you later. Now, hours went by and the picture never came. And so I asked him again and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was busy, etc., etc., etc. There's always excuses. When a seller that's selling a fake product, when you ask them serious questions like this, they no longer want to engage with you. They don't really care anymore. They know they've already lost the sale in a way. So regardless, I was like, you know what? Forget it. I actually was just doing a Facebook Marketplace experiment, and I know there's a lot of people selling fakes. Again, same thing happened. This person just ran off, blocked me, and disappeared. And I don't know where they are anymore. I can't find that listing either. So from this listing, we've learned look for deformalities in the actual AirPods Pro case's alignment, and then the little sparkle on the back. Now, another thing, some people get really smart. Some people not smart, but dumb. They got dumb to they try to give you all these pictures, right? They want to give you the pictures of it open and closed and from the back and from the bottom, everything. Now for this seller, if you look inside, so the AirPods Pro, when they're real, they have a serial number on the inside of the case, and they also have some writing on the left side and the right side. So both sides of the inside of the case, they actually have writing on it. And it's very tiny, like you really have to look to find it. Now, some listings you'll see that the open part, you'll see there is no writing in there whatsoever. And others you will notice that there's writing, but it's really large. So look for those two things too. You don't really find listings a lot with these type of photos, but just in case you do, that's what you want to look for. Look for any kind of writing on the inside part of the AirPods Pro case. So yeah, guys, I spent a couple of days just looking at multiple listings. I looked again and again, and I found one reoccurring theme. So many things that were similar with one listing to another, and I just kept noticing these things so I could point them out to you guys. Point them out to you so you know before you even get the chance to get scammed. Because honestly, I've seen comparison videos of fake products versus the real ones, and it's like, you want to know beforehand. What's the use of knowing what the booklet inside here looks like? Because by the time you get to seeing the booklet, you're already out your money. You've already been scammed. So there's no point of that. Yeah, for fun and for, curiosity, one could look at a video like that would show that this versus this. But I wanted to just give you guys a few pointers on what to look for beforehand so you don't get screwed over by somebody in the marketplace or on Craigslist, on eBay, or any of these third-party places. So I really hope that you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment down below with anything that you'd like to say, and if you're not already, do consider subscribing to the channel. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video.